Hey y'all, welcome back. My name is Tiara and I am the owner of Black Teacup. In this week's video, I'll be showing you guys how I transformed this makeup brush holder into something unique and personalized. I found this at Hobby Lobby, but you can also find it at Pop Shelf or Walmart. It's just a glass jar, really. But this is how I transformed mine. It says hello gorgeous, and I did like a black to a red maroon ombre. But of course you could do whatever colors you want. This is just an idea to give you inspiration. It will make a great personalized birthday gift for someone you know, or any type of gift. You could even fill this with candy or pencils. It doesn't have to be makeup brushes. It could be a utensil holder, anything. Possibilities are endless. So, if you're interested to know how we went from here to here, keep watching. Everything that I use will be linked down below. As always, thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video, and also don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I will respond back to you, and let's go ahead and get started.
All right, so here's the makeup jar that I got from Hobby Lobby. I also saw these in Pop Shelf, like I stated in the beginning. I'm going to start out by sanding these as I would a normal tumbler. And then I'm going to wipe it down with alcohol, and we're going to go and base paint it. So the ombre is like a maroon to a black color. I'm going to use this Harvest Grape spray paint and also black spray paint. I'm going to do one half black and the other half the Harvest Grape. That'll help blend those red burgundy glitters. So after your base paint has completely dried, I'm going to go ahead and take my jar in for glittering. And of course, we're going to be glittering using the epoxy method. So I just took my gloved finger with some epoxy, and I'm going to smooth it all the way around my jar. Alright, so for glitter, I'm going to be using this black from Michaels, this true maroon, and blood stripe from Peachy Olive. I will have all three of those linked down below. Alright, so we're going to start with blood stripe by Peachy Olive, and I'm going to glitter the bottom completely, and also about an inch around the rim of that bottom part. Once I have that part glitter how I want it, I'm going to start angling my jar so that the glitter falls down the side. You don't want to pour it. You kind of just want to tap so it comes out of your shaker really slowly. We're not going for full coverage. You're just, making an outline of how you want your glitters to lay. So next I'm going in with this True Maroon by Real Not Perfect. I am starting in the red section with my cup angled and tapping my glitter down to fall down the side of my cup. And it is going into the black section as well, which is okay, but it's very light. It's not a heavy layer of glitter. And you'll just continue to add glitter all the way around until you have a good outline for your maroon section. And then finally, we're going to go in with the black. This is Batman by Peachy Olive. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the bottom. I'm going to glitter the top portion of my jar fully, like about an inch or so, before I angle down and start tapping to let it flow into the maroon. So on this portion, I'm not going to speed it up. That way you can see exactly how much glitter is coming out as I'm tapping. So the more you practice, the easier this will become. Some of you guys probably already know how to do ombre. Some of you guys probably don't. But just continue to practice. Continue to have patience with yourself. Don't give up. It will come. You'll get it. But yeah, so take your time. Tap, tap, tap. So now that I have my base colors, I know there's a lot of empty space on my tumbler. I'm going to take my maroon glitter and just go crazy because that's the main color that I want. So I'm going to fill in all those gaps with maroon. As you can see here, I am just freely pouring it on my jar, and then I'll tap off the excess, and here is what we're left with. This is after the glitter has dried, and I'm going to go ahead and spray seal it with semi-gloss clear. I'm going to do one to two coats of that before we move in with epoxy. So now I am going to apply my first layer of epoxy. I'll do that like how I normally do. Just make sure it's enough to coat the entire jar. Pop any air bubbles with my torch. I will let that cure overnight, probably for a day or two before I move on to decals. The next morning, I did go in with a second layer of epoxy just to smooth everything out before I moved on to decals. I did let my cup cure for a full 1 to 2 days after I added that second coat of epoxy. So after my jar has cured, I just took it outside for some sanding with a regular sanding block. I am not going to use my rotary sander to go around the rim because this is not a cup. This will be used just for makeup brushes and decorative purposes. So you'll just take your sanding block all the way around. When you're done sanding, wash your tumbler really good. I keep saying it. Wash your jar really, really good with some soap and water and wipe it down with alcohol, and then we'll move on to decals. Okay, so I chose this Hello Gorgeous SVG file from Etsy. Really simple, easy to cut. I've already got it cut out and ready to go. Got my transfer paper on. So all we're going to do is just stick this right on that jar. Make sure it's lined up the way you want it to be lined up and press it down. I did not seal my decals. I let it sit overnight before I applied epoxy on top of it. If you're nervous about your decals pulling up, you can seal it with some clear coat like Rust-Oleum clear, or you can use like the epoxy method with a single gloved finger and a little bit of epoxy and rub it along your decals. Let that cure for about 4 to 6 hours and then go in with your first coat or your next coat of epoxy. And here we are adding our final layer of epoxy here. I'm just going to add it all the way around the jar and use my torch, let it cure. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to go ahead and clean out the inside the way I would a tumbler. I'm just using some acetone to get out the overspray. And I'm also using my X-Acto knife to get out any epoxy that dripped over around the top edge of that jar. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Here are both of the jars, the original and the one I customized. Both of them are really pretty. This just gives you the creativity to be able to make it your own. Alright, don't forget to like this video and also don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching as always. Until next time. Also, don't forget to join us over on Facebook at Black Teacup Community. The link for that group is linked down below in the description box.